Alright guys, brand new Diablo 4 update coming out tomorrow. We have kind of the time frame of the new Abattoir of Zir because I was interested in staying up at midnight to see if it was going to launch tonight, and well, it's not coming out quite so soon. It is going to be tomorrow in the afternoon. So starting right off, let's go over all of the Diablo 4 major updates with this patch that will be coming out tomorrow on patch 1.2.3. So starting right off, the most important thing that I do want to also go over is mentioning the Midwinter Blight is not in this patch. This actually comes out next week on the 12th. That did show off some of the newer monsters in the game. So here are the newer monster archetypes. There is the Bruiser. This is the first time I guess we're seeing them kind of rotate over here. Then we have the Chill Weaver, and there's another monster here called the Scamp. I guess these are going to be part of some sort of new reward system. We do know that there are going to be free cosmetics that you can acquire. These don't change up gameplay. These are not new legendary powers. It's just, as far as I'm aware of, cosmetics are coming out for this Midwinter Blight. Now on to the actual important part of the video, the patch notes. So this is coming out again tomorrow, December 5th. The most important thing is going to be the update to the Glyph XP. So the most important thing is really this Sigil 100. If you do a Sigil 100, instead of getting 206 XP, you get 339 XP. So that is a pretty huge buff. The other smaller tiers, you go from 66 to 79. It's so small. I don't know why it's so small at these lower ranges. In fact, I feel like these all should be a lot more, especially in World Tier 3. Upgrading glyphs is almost worthless, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably experienced. So hopefully they can make glyph leveling much easier. And we do have the Abattoir of Zir. This is the most important thing. So with Sigil 100, you get now 339. Now, at the very first Abattoir of Zir, the brand new content, that will give you 1,000 XP, and it also will cost 800 Sigil powder. So if you want to prepare yourself, get all of your Sigil 100s, and instead of salvaging maybe like the bad ones and crafting better maps, instead just do all of the maps, including the bad ones, and salvage all of the bad ones and not craft any other better ones, so you can get more Sigil powder. So if you want to get a head start, getting Sigil powder is going to be the key here. But as far as it goes, that's going to be the major update here for the glyphs. Now, as far as the other patch notes, it was just a bunch of bug fixes, stability, all those things. They have not yet, I believe, addressed the Vampiric power, one of them that's giving you more likely additive damage. It's a combo with a Cursed Touch, and the other one that applies more damage based on vulnerable targets. So that is something I think the community really wants to hear about, but there's no mention on that Vampiric power. But on top of that, there's another patch note that isn't in this patch notes because it actually was already applied, and it is also going to be applied in the next season over here. So we have an update for Season 3, a nerf to the Uber Unique. So it's a very specific one. It's called the Melted Heart of Zir. So this was actually posted a few days ago. The patch, I believe, is already live for this one. However, there's a second part of this that is not live. This is going to be coming out in Season 3. So the Melted Heart of Zir is that Uber Unique where if you take damage, you take it as resource instead. And that can count as spending your own resource, which led to basically immortality unless you were doing some really good dot damage. So the Melted Heart of Zir is no longer going to count towards the player's spending resources when it is drained from damage taken in PvP only. Okay, that's important. That's right now. Now, separately, there's another change over here that in Season 3, this will be fixed for all areas outside of PvP as well. So what this means is this is a huge nerf to some builds that were using this. And I'm really curious to know how you guys feel about this. And I really think that it is terrible for an Uber Unique to get nerfed in any sort of way, because if people are spending hundreds or thousands of hours to get this super rare item, they finally get it and then it gets nerfed. It's pretty disappointing. Well, I do want to go ahead and say, yes, I understand it's pretty insane, but that's the point of an Uber Unique, to be very insane. So at least now you don't have to deal with people that are almost immortal. But again, if you make the item super, super rare, I think that's going to make players very upset. But at the same time, we have things that were definitely not intended that aren't being nerfed, like the Tobalts and the combo points with Rogue. That is definitely not intended, and that is not being changed. If their goal is, well, this was not intended to work in the game, why is Rogue allowed to do it, but the, Barbarian that's supposed to be immortal can't? I wish there was maybe more consistency on this, but at the end of the day, I think it's a PvE-oriented game. They are adjusting it for PvP now and PvE later, but because the item is super, super rare, maybe they can make Uber Uniques easier to drop, because when you nerf things in the middle of a season, when they are this rare, you're going to make people that spend many hours in your game upset. How would you guys combat this? If you guys were like the community lead on this, would you guys nerf certain things that are way too broken or bugged? Or do you think, well, it's so rare and, you know, it is an Uber Unique, let it be powerful forever? I don't know. Maybe they can power creep the game and make the monsters do so much damage that this thing becomes irrelevant, and then they can solve it that way. But either way, at the end of the day, it is getting nerfed. This is our first nerf, I believe, to any Uber Unique. Again, maybe it's not supposed to be intended, but nonetheless, just giving you guys the info. Now, the important thing is, when is this going live? This is a response that Adam Fletcher, aka Pez Radar, he's someone that works in the team. And anyways, he said that they're aiming for, we always aim for morning to lunch at California, so that's PST. Usually it is about 10 a.m. is usually when any patch goes live for most of the Blizzard games, although sometimes there is some sort of delay, so expect anywhere from 10 a.m. to maybe 1 p.m. That's a realistic time frame, because again, I was about to stay up past midnight, and I'll still probably stay up past midnight to play Diablo, but I don't think it's going to be coming out at midnight, because this is what they mentioned. Another thing that is very important as far as the season journey. So this is something that you have to complete before you're able to access the Abattoir of Zir, the new content. You have to do your season journey. I also made a video that goes over how to actually prepare for it. I dropped it like yesterday. If you guys have not seen that video, check it out. It's very important that you guys also check that out. You want to get your armor up. You want to get your Sigil powder. You want to make sure your build can at least do Sigil 100, but the key thing is to complete your season journey. Now, you don't have to complete every single objective in the entire thing. It doesn't have to be 100% complete, but Adam Fletcher responded to someone that said, hey, can we get clarification on the season journey completion requirement for the AOZ? Does it have to be 100% or just the normal completion where you can skip a couple things per chapter? Basically, what this means is there's a bunch of objectives that you have to complete, but some of them, like for example the PvP one, you may not need to complete because you can just complete all of the rest of the objectives. Just make sure that you've reached all of the completion for the season journey. And then he responded and said normal completion, so that's good. But again, check out this video. It's pretty important to go and be ready for AOZ. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you want to see more Diablo, more gaming stuff, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and let me know what your thoughts are on the changes to Melted Heart. I'm very curious on that. Anyways, peace out, guys.